Today I'm going to demonstrate the new mechanical Slug-Out Knockout Driver from Gardner Bender. This driver has a couple of interesting features here. The first that I'd like to point out is on the sides we have dual 3/8 square drive shaft. It's on the right and the left sides. And on this side we have the hole for the smaller draw studs. And you would insert, if you're doing the small holes, you would take your smaller draw stud and screw that in down through the center here. On the other side, or the handle side, we have the larger hole for the larger draw stud. The key points with this product are the versatility from the dual drives that I just showed you, the ease of use with the draw studs. This is a standard draw stud that is used with all the hydraulics and the other type of knockout kits that are out there today. So if the customer has multiple knockout kits on their site, they can use the draw studs they have today. I've already pre-drilled my hole here. Now I'm going to come over and I'm going to take my larger draw stud, because we're going to demonstrate doing a 2-inch knockout. With this unit, we can go from a 1/2 inch up to 4-inch is what's recommended through 10 to 12 gauge steel. Now, taking my draw stud and I'm going to screw it into the top here. I mentioned earlier, this is the larger hole for the large draw stud on the handle side. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to thread this in. Now you're going to feel that kind of bottom out, or it's going to get to where I can't really screw that in anymore. I'm going to take my die, I'm going to slide that over my draw stud. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it through my pilot hole. And then while I've got a good grip on the mechanical driver, because we don't want it to drop down, I'll hold it in. I will then take my punch and I'm going to go to the back side and I'm going to screw down that punch. So once we've got that hand tightened down and we've kind of feel it kind of snug up, we're sandwiching the metal between the die and the punch. Okay, so now you can tell it's kind of standing up on its own here. If you have a smaller electrical box, be careful because you don't want it to tip over. The all metal construction on this unit, it is a little bit heavy. It's lighter than some of the hydraulic units that are out there, but you still don't want it to tip over your box while you're trying to do your demonstration. I'm now going to take the adapter. This is a 3/8 square drive to a 1/4 inch adapter, and I'm going to put this into my cordless drill. I'm using a cordless 18 volt, but you want to make sure that if you're using cordless that you're either in the drill mode or in one of the higher clutch settings. I've placed my adapter in there. I'm going to tighten down my chuck, and then I'm going to place my 3/8 square drive into my drive shaft. Now, one of the nice things about this is I could go from either side. So if I've got a pipe on one side, it's going to be very easy for me to get in here, so I don't have to get into an awkward position to work around what's on the job. I can just use either side and get into those tight spaces as needed. Whenever I put the drill into the forward or reverse position, depending on which side I'm on the driver, you want to look at the punch in the die. If I'm in the forward position and you're going to see that the drive may start to back off and it's not pulling through, just switch it to reverse. And depending on the positioning that you're in, you want to kind of look through that ahead of time and make sure that you're going in the right direction when you're driving down. Once you pull the trigger, you want to keep that trigger down. Now, hold on to the mechanical driver onto the gripping surface here, and then hold on to your drill. You may feel a little bit of a movement on your drill. You just want to make sure you're holding both of these things firmly when you're doing your demonstration. You heard that pop started to pop, that means that it was breaking through, that the punch was breaking through. And once you'll hear a couple of pops and then it's going to just come straight out. I would disconnect my drill. I'll set that off to the side. I'm going to set the driver up. We'll unscrew the punch. One of the good things about demonstrating with the Gardner Bender knockouts is we have a 4-point knockout so that it distributes the force across 4 points. That's going to allow for less wear and for it to make it a lot easier to make the holes. And one of the last kind of wow factors that you're going to get from a lot of your customers, if they're not familiar with our 4-point knockouts, is when I slide this off the driver and I'm going to just dump that out, and this slug drops straight out very quickly and easily. That's been a common problem for a lot of contractors, is that this slug or this leftover is going to get stuck in their die, and they spend a lot of time trying to get that out. So you keep that job site productivity going when you're using the new mechanical knockout driver from Gardner Bender. Let's do a comparison between the Slug-Out mechanical driver and the hydraulic driver. And we're going to use the same punch and die for both, and we're going to use the same piece of metal.